In the heart of Africa, where the sun dips into the horizon and paints the sky with hues of crimson and gold, lay a small village nestled among the majestic baobab trees. The village, called Kokrobite, was a haven of peace and tranquility, where the air was sweet with the scent of blooming flowers and the sound of laughter echoed through the streets. In this idyllic setting, a young woman named Akua lived a simple yet fulfilling life. She woke up each morning to the chirping of birds, tended to her family's farm, and spent her evenings listening to the village elders' tales of ancient traditions. But Akua's peaceful existence was shattered by mysterious nocturnal visits. Every night, as the darkness descended upon Kokrobite village, Akua's hut became a battleground for unseen forces. Ghostly apparitions materialized in the shadows, their ethereal forms flickering like candles in the wind. Evil spirits whispered her name, their malevolent presence making the air thick with dread. Akua would wake up to find herself drenched in sweat, her heart racing like a drum. She'd try to recall the faces of her tormentors, but they'd vanish into the darkness, leaving behind only an unsettling feeling. No one knew the reason for these nocturnal visits. Not the village elders, who gathered around the fire to share tales of ancient traditions. Not the spiritual leaders, who performed rituals to ward off evil spirits. Not even Akua herself, who felt like a leaf torn from its branch, helpless and lost. The villagers whispered among themselves, speculating about curses and ancestral debts. Some believed Akua's family had awakened a malevolent entity, while others thought she was chosen for some greater purpose. Akua's nights became a blur of terror and uncertainty. She'd try to stay awake, but exhaustion would claim her, pulling her into a world of dark dreams and foreboding omens. As the days passed, Akua's once radiant smile faded. Her eyes grew sunken, her steps hesitant. The village, once full of laughter and warmth, seemed to shrink away from her, as if afraid of the darkness that followed. Every night, Akua was tormented by ghostly apparitions and evil spirits. No one knew the reason, not even Akua herself. Desperate for answers, Akua sought help from the village elders, respected for their wisdom and knowledge of ancient traditions. She shared her terrifying encounters, hoping they could shed light on the mysterious attacks. The elders listened attentively, their faces etched with concern. They asked questions, seeking clues. Did you offend anyone? Have you disturbed any ancestral spirits? But Akua had no answers. Next, Akua turned to the spiritual leaders, revered for their connection to the divine. They performed rituals, invoking ancestral spirits and gods. They offered sacrifices, burning incense and chanting ancient prayers, but the attacks continued, unabated. The spiritual leaders were baffled, their usually steadfast faith shaken. Some whispered of dark magic, while others spoke of a curse that defied understanding. Akua's frustration grew. She felt lost, abandoned by those she trusted. The village, once a sanctuary, now seemed fragile and powerless. One elder, Baba Kofi, took Akua under his wing. He shared tales of ancient battles between good and evil, of spirits that roamed the land. But even his wisdom couldn't unravel the mystery. As the days passed, Akua's hope began to wane. She wondered if she was doomed to suffer forever, haunted by an unknown force. One day, Akua met an old wise man who claimed to know the truth. The old wise man's eyes clouded, as if gazing into a distant past. Akua, your ancestor, Queen Amanirenas, was a powerful ruler, beloved by her people. But she faced a great challenge. Famine and drought had struck the land, threatening to destroy the village. He paused, collecting his thoughts, desperate to save her people. Queen Amanirenas sought help from dark forces, ancient beings who dwelled beyond the veil. They promised prosperity and protection, but at a terrible cost. Akua's eyes widened, horror creeping in. The queen agreed to their terms. The old wise man continued. She sacrificed a part of her soul, binding her family's lineage to the dark forces. And so, the village prospered, but at a terrible price. Images of the ancient queen's reign flashed through Akua's mind. Each generation, a member of your family must pay the debt, the old wise man said, his voice heavy with sorrow. The dark forces demand payment in fear, suffering, and chaos. And you, Akua, are the latest heir to this cursed legacy. But the pact came with a terrible price. Akua's family line would be haunted for generations. The old wise man's words shook Akua to her core. She finally understood the reason for the mysterious attacks.
With his final breath, the old wise man entrusted Akua with breaking the curse.
Akua's determination ignited like a flame, burning away the shadows of fear. She vowed to free her family from the curse, restoring peace to her village. The old wise man's words echoed in her mind. The curse can be broken, but the path ahead will be treacherous. Acua steeled herself, ready to face the challenges. She spent countless hours researching ancient rituals, seeking guidance from spiritual leaders, and gathering sacred herbs. Her quest took her to hidden corners of the village, where whispers of the curse's origins lingered. With each step, Acua felt the weight of her ancestors' struggles. She saw the faces of her loved ones, tormented by the dark forces. Her resolve strengthened. Fueled by a deep sense of purpose, Acua's journey took her to the heart of the forest, where the ancient queen's spirit dwelled. The air thickened with anticipation as Acua called out to her ancestor, seeking forgiveness and guidance. Queen Amonirina's spirit appeared, radiant and powerful. "Acua, my descendant," she said, "I am proud of your courage. Break the curse, and our family's legacy will be reborn." Acua's heart swelled with determination. Together, she and the queen's spirit crafted a plan to outwit the dark forces and shatter the curse.